polite as I can to honor my dad, because he's a funny guy. Try not to be too emotional. So let's start with something kind of funny. Fun fact is that our dad gave us nicknames, and mine in Cantonese is O.C. Jai. I'll translate that in English. It means mouse boy, rat boy maybe. I guess because when I was young, I had big teeth and a gap tooth. I'm assuming that's why he called me that. But just being the youngest, I've always felt I had a really special relationship with my dad. My dad worked for the telephone company, and at times they would send him up north to train and take classes. I guess to make time go a little bit faster, he would use the stationery from the hotel and send me a letter, a postcard saying like hello and be a good boy, and help around the house. It was just his special way of saying, I'm thinking of you, son. My dad also loved sports, particularly baseball. When I was young, for some reason, I liked the St. Louis Cardinals. And when he found out, he surprised me with tickets every time the Cardinals came into town. My dad also loved horse racing. Growing up on certain Saturday mornings, my dad and I would sit in the kitchen and he would let me pick horses from the daily racing form. Needless to say, I had no clue. For sure, he never won with my picks, but he didn't care. It was just like the baseball games. It was just something we did together. Another interesting fact, just like what Brian had mentioned, I like to think of my dad as kind of like the Cal Ripken of the telephone company. Never missed a day at work. My dad would sometimes take me to work with him at the La Piñata office. And while he was working, I would just move around and just play in the office and stuff. And he would take the opportunity to teach me life lessons. One of the many life lessons he taught me throughout my lifetime. But with this particular life lesson, I remember him telling me, even though no one is watching, always take pride in your work. And to this day, I strive towards a strong ethic, just like my dad. Another interesting fact about my dad was that he would eat the same lunch every day, tuna fish sandwich and a Coke. Sometimes I would make his lunch and just add my own flair to it, just give him something like a Hostess Twinkie for dessert, but he won't eat that stuff. He just left it on the countertop. But my dad worked hard to provide for his family, often working overtime. He sacrificed so much so his kids can live such a great life. Like I remember during the summer times, my siblings, cousins from LA and Fresno, would stay up all night, having so much fun and making so much noise downstairs in the room. And he would never come down and just say, knock it off or tell us to go to sleep, even though he had to work early in the morning. In fact, it was my sister who told us to be quiet, not my dad. So, as I grew older, I appreciated my dad more and more. When I got married, I thanked him for being a great role model, of a devoted husband, and a loving father. Almost 6 years ago, when I heard he was diagnosed with lung cancer, I can still remember the call, me crying, saying how scared I was for him. He said to me, "Don't worry, son, I will be fine." Dad's my hero. He fought cancer valiantly. He lived life to the fullest. I cherish those Saturdays when my wife and I did. my wife and I, Tim, would meet up with Mom and Dad for dim sum. With my dad, we just walked in. No waiting. I'm so proud to be the son of Elvis Kwan. I do miss him a lot, but although he is physically gone, he will always be with me. There's times if I have to just quiet my mind and just listen with my heart, I can hear him say to me, "Don't worry, son, I am fine. Love you, Dad. I'll see you someday."